So it's like So in the last video, I promised you we'd try and have a go at doing a drone with the Z1 because it's sat here all the time. I use it as my main controller, but of course it is a synth, a very powerful synth in its own right. So that's what we're going to do in this video. This particular way of getting a drone is basically we're going to trick the synth into doing a drone for us. It's not really set up to be a drone instrument, but we're going to trick it using arps and envelopes and tempo controls. That's what today's video is all about. Alright, so we're going to attempt to set up a drone with the Z1. So this is a good example of where we take, say, in this case, a digital synth that isn't necessarily set up to be, to have sort of, like an voltage controlled amplifier, which you might find on a modular system, or the VCA bias control, essentially similar thing. It's like a digital synth that does have an envelope, but it isn't essentially set up drone. But we can trick it into making a drone for us using the arpeggiator. So this will work on any digital synth or analog synth maybe that has an arpeggiator. Or of course you could potentially send MIDI as sort of an arpeggiator. But if you're sending MIDI, you can just have a long MIDI note that you send, and that'll work as a drone, obviously. First thing I do with the Z1, the patches are devised up. There's like synth hard, synth soft, synth motion. So I'm going to find one of the synth soft patches. There's not so many Z1s out there, it's quite an old synth, but we'll go through it anyway. It's utility middle button of these 5 here, and then we just want to select synth hard, again using that middle of the 5 button, synth soft, and then enter. So this is what these kind of sound like. X out there. And we'll use the category stroke cursor buttons to then dial through this particular style of patch. Memories in air, this is the one I'll use, I think. So the first thing to try is we've got an amp envelope here, which everything is in the way, but maybe I'll do some close-up shots just with the camera. So there is an amp envelope, attack, decay, sustain, release. So we can set the release to its maximum setting. And while that's not bad, but it's not quite the continuum, the drone that we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the arpeggiator on. So the arpeggiator section is just up here on the Z1. Latch is going to be on. So what this means is when you hold the note, it's like me putting a big heavy weight, like this weird skull thing, like on the key. Well, that sounds lovely. Right, latch on. Let's play a. Obviously, we're hearing so there's obviously a pattern in the arpeggiator, but we can trick our ears by putting the tempo to its slowest possible setting. So I think this is 30, I'm not sure it's 30 BPM, probably 30 BPM, but it's like, according to the readout, 30 quavers. It's probably 30 BPM. And we can increase the attack so we don't so much hear the attack of the envelope being sort of re-triggered on each new note. And obviously different patches will have different arps associated with them, and there are different arp patterns which may give better effects, just like that kind of drone effect. So that's probably one I wouldn't choose. It's not great, is it? Let's try a different patch, see if we can get a better effect. Latch on, arpeggiator on. Not bad, not bad. I could use that. And obviously as that's droning away, we've got all the controls the Z1 gives us, or whatever digital synth you have. Z1 has these 5 parameter dials here that just sort of, depending on what the patch is, control various magical things about the patch. Yeah. That's not bad, that's not bad. And then to deactivate the drone, we can just turn the latch mode off, and then whatever envelope is set for whatever release is set on the envelope, it'll just die off and end. So that's yeah, that's probably usable. So there's an example of when we're tricking the arpeggiator to provide a drone for us by having a really simple pattern, messing with the amp envelope so we don't hear the re-triggering so much, putting the tempo to its slowest possible tempo, so it's not like ba 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 ba, it's like whoop, 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 whoop. That's the kind of effect that we're going for. All right, so I promised you we'll try and do a drone on the Z1, so there we go, done. Thanks for watching. Cheers, bye.